Once upon a time in a beautiful land called Spain, there was a girl named Isabella. She was born in 1451 and grew up in a royal family. She learned many things, just like how you go to school to learn today. When Isabella was 18 years old, in 1469, she married a prince named Ferdinand of Aragon. Together, they became a powerful team and ruled over Spain. Isabella and Ferdinand had children, and one of them was Catherine of Aragon. Catherine, their daughter, was special. She was born in 1485 and had red gold hair. Isabella taught Catherine how to pray and took her to church a lot. Some people thought Isabella was a very strong and clever queen, while others were afraid of her. They said she could be quite strict and even mean. Isabella was especially strict with one of her children named Juana. Some stories say that Juana was unhappy because of how Isabella treated her. This made the people in Spain feel nervous and not very safe. But Isabella also wanted to see her daughter Catherine married. So when Catherine grew up, she married Prince Arthur in 1501. Prince Arthur was a kind prince, but sadly, he died soon after, leaving Catherine very sad. Isabella loved her daughter and did her best to comfort her when she was heartbroken. Then, people say that King Henry VII of England tried to make life hard for Catherine by sending her to a dark dungeon, but Isabella bravely defended her daughter. A few years later, in 1504, Isabella passed away, leaving behind her family and people in Spain. Some stories say that Isabella was not always kind, and because of that, different tales were told about her after she died. And that, dear children, is the story of Queen Isabella of Castile. Do you think it's important for rulers to be kind and brave? Let's think about it. Once upon a time, in the late 15th century, a little girl named Elizabeth Howard was born in 1480. She had brown hair and often wore a lovely yellow and dark yellow gable hood. Elizabeth Howard grew up with her mother, Elizabeth Tilney, who loved playing with her. But in 1497, a sad moment came when Elizabeth Tilney passed away, leaving young Elizabeth Howard without her mother's smile. As Elizabeth Howard grew up, she transformed into a graceful young lady, admired by many. She fell in love with Thomas Bullen, a charming gentleman, and in 1498, they got married, promising to be by each other's side through thick and thin. They had children together, and in 1501, Elizabeth gave birth to a baby girl named Anne Boleyn. Little Anne had brown hair and was as lively as a spring morning. Elizabeth Howard cherished her daughter, playing with her and teaching her about life. Elizabeth was known for her kindness, always offering help to people, especially those who were less fortunate. Her warmth touched many hearts, and she was beloved by all whom she met. Anne Boleyn grew up to be a woman of great beauty and elegance. She often wore a striking French hood in black and yellow, with a black veil cascading from it. Destiny smiled upon Anne, and she became queen, serving the people with the same compassion and grace her mother did. Elizabeth Howard was truly proud of Anne Boleyn and continued to be known for her kindness. Her life was filled with love and caring deeds until, in 1538, Elizabeth Howard passed away, leaving people and the poor, whom she had always aided, to remember her. Once upon a time, in the year 1478, a baby named Marjorie Wentworth was born. Marjorie had long brown hair, and as she grew, she loved to play in the gardens with her friends. She wore a dark blue gable hood that matched the color of the sky. As Marjorie grew older, she became a lady, admired by many for her kindness. Everyone could see her gentle nature as she was always nice to the people and especially kind to the poor. Marjorie fell in love with a young man named John Seymour, and in the year 1494, they got married. It was a joyful occasion, filled with laughter and happiness. 14 years later, in 1508, Marjorie gave birth to a lovely baby girl named Jane Seymour, who had beautiful blonde hair. Marjorie would play with little Jane in the gardens, just like she once did as a child. Jane grew up to be a fine young woman, and in 1536, she became Queen of England by marrying King Henry VIII. Marjorie was so happy for her daughter and proud of her accomplishments. The next year, Queen Jane gave birth to a son named Edward, which made King Henry very happy. But sadly, Jane died in childbirth, leaving Marjorie heartbroken. Throughout her life, Marjorie continued to be a kind and caring lady, loved by all. She was especially proud when she saw her grandson, Edward, take the throne as King Edward VI. In the year 1550, the world lost this wonderful lady as Marjorie Wentworth passed away. Once upon a time, in the year 1491, Maria Julius of Berg was born into a powerful family. Maria was known for her long brown hair and a distinctive red headdress called a sticklechin, shaped like a squire cap. Growing up, Maria received a fine education and learned how to be kind and generous to everyone she met. Maria's life took a significant turn when she married John III, Duke of Cleves. The couple was blessed with beautiful children, and among them was a daughter named Anne. Anne had striking orange hair and also wore a unique red headdress shaped like her mother's. As Anne grew up, Maria loved spending time with her. She taught her daughter to be compassionate, smart, and always caring towards others. Maria was not only a loving mother, but a queen who treated all her subjects with kindness, especially the poor. Her heart was filled with joy whenever she helped those in need. In 1515, Maria had the joy of seeing and play and grow, but life took another twist when Anne married King Henry VIII. Sadly, the marriage had ended, leaving Anne feeling very sad. But Maria, as always, was ready with comforting words, holding Anne close and assuring her that everything would be all right. Maria continued her loving ways until, in 1543, she passed away. Her passing left a big hole in the hearts of her people, and Anne missed her dearly. This is the timeless story of Maria Julius of Berg, a queen, a mother, and a symbol of kindness. Once upon a time, in the year 1580, a little girl named Joyce Culpeper was born. Joyce had bright blonde hair, and she loved playing in the gardens, feeling the wind dance around her. As she grew older, Joyce became a lovely lady, known for her kindness towards everyone she met, especially those in need. In the early 1500s, Joyce fell in love with a man named Edmund Howard. In 1509, they got married, and Joyce was very happy. Edmund and Joyce had a daughter named Catherine Howard in 1523. Catherine had beautiful brown hair, and Joyce cherished her daughter dearly. She would often play with Catherine, sharing laughter and joy. Joyce was loved not just by her family, but also by the people in her community. She was always willing to help others and had a heart full of warmth and care. Sadly, in 1528, Joyce passed away, leaving behind little Catherine and a grieving husband, Edmund. Her passing brought great sorrow to those who knew her. Despite the sadness, Edmund eventually married another lady, and life continued. Years went by, and Catherine Howard, with her lovely brown hair, grew up. She wore a black and white French hood, just as her mother did. Catherine became Queen of England, but she often thought of her dear mother, Joyce Culpeper. Even as queen, Catherine faced challenges and struggles, but she always remembered her mother's gentle heart and kindness. And so, the memory of Joyce Culpeper lived on through her daughter, Catherine, and the people who cherished her. Joyce's spirit of kindness and love never faded away, leaving a lasting legacy for all to remember. Long ago, in a time of knights and castles, there was a little girl named Maud Green. Maud had black hair and loved wearing her special green hooded cloak as she played in the gardens. She grew up to be a kind and gracious lady loved by all. Maud had a special love in her heart for a man named Thomas Parr. In the year 1508, she and Thomas married and dreamed of a happy life together. Not long after, Maud gave birth to their daughter, Catherine Parr, in 1512. Catherine was a cute little girl with short black hair, and Maud enjoyed playing with her in the gardens, teaching her the ways of kindness and care. Maud was known for being nice to everyone she met, especially those who had little and were in need. Her generosity made her beloved by the people. Sadly, in 1531, Maud Green passed away, leaving her daughter Catherine as a teenager. Everyone was sad because they lost a woman of great kindness. Catherine, with her short black hair, bonnet, coif, and dark red dress, grew up and caught the eye of King Henry VIII. She became his sixth and final wife. Unlike Henry's other wives, Catherine Parr survived him, proving herself to be clever and wise. As Catherine flourished as a queen, Maud watched proudly from heaven, knowing her daughter was making her mark on history. In the year 2025, during an imaginary journey of discovery, you think about Catherine Parr and wonder who her mother was. Once upon a time in the grand land of England, there lived a king named Henry VIII, famous for having 6 wives. But what about his mothers-in-law? Let's dive into this fascinating history. First, we have Isabella of Castile, the mother of Catherine of Aragon, Henry VIII's first wife. Isabella was a queen known for her strong will and powerful reign. Though some considered her harsh, she was a key figure in making Spain a united kingdom. Next up is Elizabeth Howard, the cheerful mother of Anne Boleyn, Henry's second wife. Elizabeth was known for her kindness, but she passed away in 1538, leaving her daughter and to a tumultuous fate. Then there's Marjorie Wentworth, who was the mother of Jane Seymour, Henry's third wife. Marjorie was gentle and well-loved until her passing in 1550. Maria Jülich of Berg was the mother of and of Cleves, Henry's fourth wife. Maria was a wise and educated queen, supporting her daughter's marriage alliance. She passed away in 1543. Joyce Culpeper, mother of Catherine Howard, Henry's fifth wife, was known for her gentle nature. Tragically, she died when Catherine was just a young girl in 1528. Finally, Maud Green, the mother of Catherine Parr, Henry's sixth wife, was a kind and loving figure who supported her family until she passed away in 1531, when Catherine was still a teen. Through love, wisdom, and sometimes power, these mothers-in-law shaped the lives of Henry VIII queens. Each left a mark on history, showing that every mother's role is truly special.